Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So my name is Pramod Thorat and welcome to the course Introduction to the CompTIA A Plus Certifications. So I'm starting with new series, and in this series I will explain how to pass the CompTIA exam. So in this course introduces the learning path for aspiring computer technicians who want to achieve the A Plus certification to help launch their career in tech supports. So let's go to the course model 1. So this is module 1, Introduction to A Plus, Form Factors, Cases and Power Supplies. So before beginning the course, you should be familiar with basic computer uses, but no advanced knowledge is required. From here, you should feel comfortable diving into the A Plus certifications, learning track with different modules covering each of the A Plus exam knowledge domain. So objectives of the CompTIA A Plus certifications. So CompTIA certifications, part 1 is a hardware computer maintenance 1, part 2 is a software computer maintenance 2, PC hardware, differentiate form factors and cases, and choose an appropriate power supply. So let's check which CompTIA and what is A Plus certification. So CompTIA is, since 1982, the Computer Technology Industry Association. CompTIA has been dedicated to advancing the global interest of information technology professionals and companies, including manufacturers, distributors, resellers, and educational institutions. And what is a CompTIA A Plus certification? This certification is international industry credential, validates the knowledge of computer service technicians with the equivalent of 500 hours of hands-on experience, the standard in foundation level vendor neutral certifications. So if you have completed CompTIA A Plus certifications, so jobs that use CompTIA A Plus certifications are technical support specialist, fleet survey technicians, IT support technicians, IT support administrator, IT support specialist, general entry level IT positions. So in this slide we can see the latest version is CompTIA A Plus required 2 exams to become certified. CompTIA A Plus exam 1, that is core 1, CompTIA A Plus exam 2, that is core 2. So core 1 exam covers the fundamentals of computer technology, installation and configuration of PCs, laptops and related hardware, and basic networking. And core 2 exam covers the skills required to install and configure PC operating system as well as configuring common features or mobile operating systems. And these certifications are valid for 3 years from the date of the candidate becomes certified. So in this slide we can check form factors and cases. So form factors, so describe the size, shape and general makeup of hardware components. Also they describe the compatibility of components. Affected components are motherboard, power supply and case. So in this slide we can check the different form factors and sizes and their uses. So form factor, first one is AT, advanced technology. ATX is advanced technology extended, micro ATX, mini ATX, BTX, balanced technology extended, and their sizes and the uses. In this slide we can check there are other form factors: TTX, mini ITX, nano ITX and pico ITX, their sizes and their uses. So in these slides we can check types of motherboards. A case can hold smaller version of the same form factor but not larger. An ATX case would be ATX, micro ATX and mini ATX. So full size desktops, handheld devices, standard ATX, micro ATX, mini ATX are full size desktops, and non-ITX and pico ITX are handheld device. So in this slide we can check power supplies on devices. So power supplies are AC alternating current, cycles back and forth rather than the traveling in only one directions. Most economical way to transmit electricity. And DC means direct currents, travels in only one directions. Types of current required by most electronic devices including computers. And computer power supplies function as both a transformer and a rectifier. So this is the computer power supply. You can see on picture: cooling fan, power switch, dual voltage selector, external power source. In this slide you can check the computer power supplies, maybe external, internal or externals. A is a laptop or external AC adapters, B is a most desktops are internals, and C some servers have redundant power supplies. So first picture you can see the laptop power supplies, second picture you can see server power supply, and third is a micro ITX. So in this slide we can check the how to troubleshoot the power supplies. So never open the power supply case, check the power switch is on, check the voltage selector is correct, and blinking light indicates under voltage. So let's move to the next slide. So this slide we can check the different types of power connectors: Birch, Molex, 20 or 24 pin connectors, 80 or P8 P9 connector, SATA connector, 4, 6 or 8 pin connectors. The number of connector is dependent on the wattage of the power supply. So in this slide we can check the different main power connectors: 20 or 24 connectors, 80 or P8/P9 connectors. So 20 or 24 pin keyed connectors. So power supplies over 400 watts usually have 24 pins. 4 extra pins used for a dual core and up processors. You can buy 20 to 24 or 20 to 24 to 20 pin adapters. P8/P9 connectors were used on 80 motherboards only. So in this slide we can check the expansion of power connectors. So Birch, Molex and SATA connectors. So Birch connectors supply 12 volt power to floppy drives. Molex connectors supply 12 volt power to ID hard drives, CD/DVD drives, tape drives and some video cards. Molex is found on every desktop power supply, and SATA connectors supply 12 volt power to SATA drives. So let's move to the next slide. Now these are the auxiliary power connectors: 4, 6 or 8 pin connectors. 4 and 8 pin connectors have been used to provide extra power to Pentium 4 and up motherboards. 6 and 8 pin connectors are used to provide power to PCIe cards slots for devices like graphic cards. So let's move to the next slide. The next slide is different power supply wire colors. Voltages, wire color use, 80x power, 80x power, acceptable voltage range. So voltage is 12 volt is wire color is yellow, minus 12 volt is wire color is blue, plus 3.3 volt is wire color is orange, plus 5 volt wire color is red, minus 5 volt is wire color is white, 0 volt is black. So let's move to the next slide. Measurement of electricity. So unit is volt, measures potential difference, and amperes or measures electric currents. So definitions of volts: abbreviation as V, for example 120 volt. So volts are measures by finding the potential difference between the electrical charges on either side of the electrical device in an electrical systems. For example, as applied to a computer, an 80 power supply supplies 4 separate voltage: 12 volt, plus 12 volt, minus 12 volt, plus 5 volt, minus 5 volt. So an ATX power supply supplies these, and also 3 plus 3.2 volt. Ampere definition is abbreviated as A. For example, 1.5 ampere are measured by placing an ammeter in the flow of current and measuring that currents. So for example, a 17-inch monitor requires less than 2 ampere to operate. A small laser printer uses about 3 ampere. A CD-ROM drive uses about 3 amperes. So let's move the next slide. This slide is we can check the measures of electricity. To help you understand, imagine water flowing through a pipe. The volume or force of water that flows through the pipe is like the volume of electricity through a conductor. The volume or force is measured in volts. The rate or speed of the water flowing through the pipe is like the rate of the electricity flowing through a conductor. The rate of or speed is measured in amperes. So what is the meaning of wattages? So total amount of power needed to operate an electric device measured in watts. So calculated by multiplying volts by amperes in a system. Ampere into volt equal to wattages. In the US, AC current volt comes out to the outlet at 120 volt at the rate 60 Hz. So in this slide, we can check the how to calculate wattages. A into V, ampere into volt equal to wattages. If we have a computer that draws 4 amperes into 120 volt equal to 480 watt. This is the maximum output of your computer. And 4 into 0.20 equal to 96. It's a good idea to add 20% so that the power supply does not run at its maximum. So 480 plus 96 equal to 576 watt. So power supplies come in increments of 50 watts. So you would need a 600 watt power supply to run this computer. Note, 250 watt is the minimum size used in any computer system. So let's move to the next slide. So we can discuss in this module, this is the summary, form factor and how it affects components, AC and DC currents, types of connectors, power supply wire colors and voltages, and calculating wattages. You have completed this module, so study hard, good luck and thanks for watching. I will upload next module shortly. Thank you.